Hey, yo. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done any Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile updates or anything. Uh, Mainly, yeah, just because I've been pretty low-key with the game since the first remote duel YCS, which I guess will always be my crowning achievement based on the fact that I just don't really play that hardcore unless I really, really fucking want to, and can't really do that in remote duels. Just burns my brain out. But yeah, nonetheless, I've spent the past few months pondering some other decks. I've played some Gren Maju variants. I even played Flunder for a tournament, or Flunderies, whatever you want to call them. And all that's fun. All of that's enjoyable. But it just doesn't click like Subterror does. Subterror is forever in my heart and soul. And so these past few weeks I've been trying out a few new little options within the deck, and over the past 2 weeks, I've gone a combined 6 wins, 2 losses at locals, so Dreamers Vault Minneapolis, and all of it has been very smooth. I know what the hell I'm doing at this point, so I thought it'd be a good chance to share an updated deck profile since things have changed a little bit since that first remote duel YCS. So yeah, getting into it, starting with the main deck. Of course, 3 Subterror Guru. Got the misprint one just to flex a little bit extra. Got 3 Subterror Fiendus. Still on 3D Shifter. It still comes up in a ton of matchups, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I guess Sword Soul isn't too important for it, but it still hits hard and is one of your best going second cards as well as the going first card. New edition, Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Love this card and what it opens up for the deck. So yeah, not only can you protect your set cards, but when you get the special summon off of it, you can basically search any spell or trap from your deck. So no reason to play Trap Trick anymore. No reason to get too annoying with those kind of cards. And then it also opens up some other possibilities which I've been contemplating, and one you'll see later on in the deck profile. We got Subterror Nemesis Archer, classic, and then we're still on Dragoon, so Dark Magician and the good old Red Eyes. So that's the monster lineup. Going into spells, 3 Hidden City, of course. We got 3 Red Eyes Fusion. It's got that nice Ultra reprint now, so looks even better to play instead of just like boring supers or commons. Still 2 Pot of Prosperity. Would I play 3 if I had the third? Just like last time, probably. But I think 2 has actually been a very healthy ratio, especially when stuff like City will search you and get your whole engine going. 2 Cosmic still. Sometimes I doubt this, but for the most part, I almost never regret having it in the deck, and it's easy to side out if something isn't really back row heavy. Got the 1 Terraforming. Got the Called by the Grave. And yeah, so speaking of Lord of the Heavenly Prison, Magicalized Fusion. I've always been hesitant of playing Magicalized in decks like this, not because it isn't helpful, but mainly just because it's always more of a potential brick, especially if you haven't pulled off Red Eyes Fusion or got the targets into the graveyard. But with Lord of the Heavenly Prison, I think it gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of playing little sacky one-ofs like this that allow you to just win more games. And so yeah, nothing feels better than already climbing to victory and then special summoning Lord and then sitting Magicalized to use on your next turn. So that's the spells. Notice that there's no Subterror Cave Clash this time. I guess that's partially kind of the thing when I'm talking about like bricky cards like Magicalized Fusion. Subterror Cave Clash just adds another brick to the deck at times that like is just really annoying to draw when your hand is kind of questionable to begin with. So yeah, going on to traps. 3 summon limit. No, there can be only 1 in this. I don't know why, but I just think summon limit is better right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but it never has caused me issues in recent times, especially with Lord of the Heavenly Prison. 3 Solemn Strike, always essential. 3 Solemn Judgment. I find myself citing this out a lot, particularly because I've been losing a lot of my die rolls lately, and yeah, it just doesn't come up in a game 3 where I know I'm going to be going second again. So, but still, it's Solemn Judgment. You can never fucking doubt Solemn Judgment. 2 Crackdown. I think Crackdown is pretty damn good this format. I would contemplate playing a 3rd copy, but it feels like something that can maybe get too bricky, especially if you can't do anything with those monsters that you steal off of it. It's best when you have a guru or something. And 2 Imperm, just because I needed to fill in some space and I was trying to figure out what to throw in. Of course, you can Imperm underneath Dimension Shifter. Of course, you can possibly negate spells or traps if you have it set. So yeah, just like a solid card to have in that always has some utility. And then 2 Final Battle as usual, because 1 is nice, 2 will always be fun to mess around with. Moving on to the extra deck, got 2 Dragoon, 2 Verte, and then just like a plethora of stuff for Waking the Dragon, or if I have a chance to send one for one reason. So like Intis, Chimera Rafflesia, Last Warrior, Boral Sword, Link Karibo, Exterio, 2 Ultimate Falcon, why not, Megaclops, another Intis, and then just for the hell of it, Misprint, Cyberstein. So yeah, that's just kind of a good luck charm. If you really wanted to be better with it, you'd probably play maybe another Waking target. And moving on to the side deck, this was getting messed around with a little bit over the past 2 weeks. So 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison, mainly to replace Crackdown in case one is better than the other. And still on 3 Droll. Droll is always nice, and especially if I need to throw in another hand trap that'll like seal up somebody's turn like D-Shifter does, I'll throw this into the mix. 3 Dark Ruler, because it is a format where I feel like this is nice, especially against something like Sword Soul, where like a lot of the time I feel like you cannot set up a Subterror board if somebody has set up a good Sword Soul board. So having Dark Ruler is helpful for being able to set up what you need to, or if you need to secure a Dragoon, you can do that. 3 Waking the Dragon. Not quite the same if you aren't playing Trap Trick with it, but it has been coming up recently, so why not keep it in? Kaijus. Packed 2 Godarla at locals, so I switched them in. So it's preferably it should be 3 Godarla, I think. But I just got to pick up the 3rd one. Then Harpy's Feather Duster, because, you know, some decks just fucking die to it. And so, yeah, that's the current list as it stands. I'm very happy with it. Nobody's really been talking about Subterror too much, which is kind of surprising to me just because Lord of the Heavenly Prison is such a great card for decks like that. But also maybe it's just not its exact moment to shine right now. Format's always warping, format's always changing, and I see no reason why the deck still isn't good, and hey, it's showing. X2 over the course of 2 weeks is very, very clean, and beaten some good opponents. One of the losses was to my brother, who was playing Sky Striker, and that was actually a pretty respectable loss just because he was able to out Ultimate Falcon and an Exterio with like a full hand of Sky Striker stuff. And the other loss was to Caleb Venegas playing Sword Soul, who recently got top 16 at the most recent Remote Duel YCS. So he's just been on a roll, didn't have the best hands. What can you do? But he's a great guy. So that was just a good match anyways. So Can't even remember all of my matchups, but had a Sword Soul victory, a couple virtual world victories, um, another Sky Striker victory, just victories against quality opponents. So I think that proves that Subterror Dragoon is still in a great spot, especially since people are more prepared for DPE, which I've thought about. And obviously, it's not the best for Subterror, but damn, that card raises the ceiling for a lot of stuff. So you just got to be prepared. And having Lord of the Heavenly Prison definitely helps with that. And I see it as a card that will definitely creep up in value, even though it's already like $25, $30. But yeah, Subterror Dragoon, good as usual. Hope this inspires somebody to come forward with some new concoctions, and maybe there will be another video like this one day when I enter another big tournament or something. But for now, I'm laying low, so just hanging out. Have a good one. Enjoy your Subterrors.